So for half-life problems, the first one is I see if the half-life of radon 222 is 3.8 days, and how many days will less than 8% of the original sample remain. So since it's a percent, it tells me I need to start with everything in terms of percent, which is 100%. 100% after one half-life is 50%. Here's probably the tricky part or the difficult part. I don't go down to 0%. I cut half of 50%, which gives me 25%. Then to 12.5%, 6.25%, which is now less than 8%. The great news, we can't use calculators. Since we can't use calculators, that tells me just to stop there. I don't have to memorize a formula or anything like that. I just have to understand this concept of half-life. I chop in half what I have, and the half-life always remains the same. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 half-lives. So 3.8 days is the half-life times 4, I could say like half-lives. And when I multiply that out, I get 15.2 days. If this was a multiple choice question, it might say about 15 days, and that would be my answer. Otherwise, I do the math, 15.2 days. Second one says the half-life of uranium-238 is 4.5 billion years. And how many years will 1/256th of the original sample remain? This is a fraction, so I have to start with the whole of a fraction, which is 1. So 1 chops to a half. Half chops to a fourth. Fourth chops to an eighth. I continue 1/16th, 32nd, 64th. I better write smaller. 128, 256. Okay, so how many half-lives? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half-lives. 4.5 billion years. Billion years times 8 half-lives would be 36 billion years. Next one, or last one on this page, says the activity. Okay, so now notice these were all problems where they're giving me this and how long does it take. So the activity here is now 8 becquerels. So again, and the activity of a sample started at 8 and now it's 0.25. How long did this take? So I take 8 becquerels, 8 is my starting point, and I want to end at 0.25. So half of 8 is 4. So again, I just do this with half-life. I'm putting the BQ becquerel in there, but I really don't even need that. 2, for simplicity, I'll leave it out now. 1, 1/2, 1/4, which again, remember a half is 0.5, a fourth is 0.25. Got to know my decimal equivalents. So there I go. That took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half-lives. 5 half-lives. All right. And the half-life is 700 million years. So when I multiply 5 half-lives by 700 million, I'm going to get 3,500 million years. Or as you remember, 1,000 million is a billion, so I could also rewrite that if I wanted. I don't have to. It's 3.5 billion years. However, if this was multiple choice, it might be 3.5 billion would be my answer. So I do need to understand where that came from. So those are the 3 half-life problems. Now go ahead and work on the practice problems that you have on that worksheet, and the key is also posted. Thanks so much.